Okay, here's my Pecha Kucha assignment for the 2014 semester. My name is Jake Locke, and I will be narrating these pictures and small words here and there. So get ready to go through a little journey here. So I just want to say, picking a topic for a Pecha Kucha assignment can be probably the most difficult thing about it, because you want to pick something that you're passionate about, and like all college students, I tore my hair out a little bit trying to find the right thing to talk about, but I came to a conclusion that I wanted to talk about dreams. And when I say dreams, I don't necessarily mean like the cow jumping over the moon dreams, or like the dreams of your subconscious, or that I'm going to do a psychology analysis here, but this is just my dreams and my personal goals as a human being. And I'd like to think that I had some big dreams. Growing up, I really had some big dreams. I wanted to do a lot of things, and I thought that I could do great things. And obviously, this picture spares no expense at depicting that trait about me. But there is a person to blame for these big dreams, and that's my father, because he really is a big thinker, and anything that he ever wanted to do in his life, I felt like he just was able to do it. And that goal, that way of thinking, that was kind of instilled in me from a young age as well. And so was the passion to play music. I really was infatuated with music, and I still am, and I always will be. And when I was 13, I got my first drum set, and soon after I was playing in bars with kids who were also 13, and we were just kind of, living our dream at the time. But whenever I was doing this, I thought that I really was progressing, and I was going to be a great player, and I thought I was Mr. Cool, because I was, only 13 years old, and I was playing drums in bands, and I felt like I was, number one. But I uploaded a YouTube video, and as we know, YouTube is cruel, and the people who are on it could be so cruel. And it was really a fact check for me. It was a humility check that I really needed in order to become a better musician overall. And I also got some great constructive criticism from one of my childhood idols, the drummer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. His name's Chad Smith, and he told me just to continue to play and to never give up, and to always be trying new things whenever I'm playing drums. So I really have to give him credit for helping me. But all that being said, I still had to graduate from high school with a 3.8 grade point average, and I wasn't sure quite what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to play drums at some point in my life, but I just didn't see the practicality in it at the time and what I was going to do with it. So upon my parents' advice, I decided to get a job at the Home Depot, and I enrolled at Duquesne University, which is where my brother and sister had previously went, and I decided that I was going to be an undergraduate student in the School of Education, which I still am currently a student. And here I learned my first important life lesson, that there comes a point in everyone's life where their dreams and their goals diverge onto different paths. And this is just a thought I had myself one day, where I realized that my goals and my dreams just weren't in the same direction anymore, and I was going somewhere different. And I also started adding on new priorities in my life that I didn't previously expect. Like, I wanted to be a great teacher, and I wanted to practice good pedagogy, and I also wanted to be a good man to my girlfriend, and I wanted to be a good son to my parents, and a good brother to my brother and sister. But after all these realizations, I came to a second life lesson, and that is, you can live life on your own terms. And this I realized because, being in the School of Ed, you have to juggle a lot of things. So I decided that I would join a band, and they're called the Semi-Supervillains, and I've been playing with them ever since. And on top of that, I was able to use my playing and some of my connections in order to get a job at Thomas Jefferson High School as a drumline instructor. So I'm also following my dream in that way, in which I'm imparting my love of music onto young students. And there are a lot of other benefits too of living life on your own terms. Like I had the opportunity to play at WDVE for their homegrown morning show, and that was a really awesome experience where I was able to hear myself on the radio for the first time. And I've also met a lot of people along the way with playing music, and one of them happened to be Pat DeCesar, who was the guy who brought the Beatles to the Berg. And through all this time, I've tried to balance this and also studying while I'm playing and doing all these things with my music. But the greatest benefit of living life on my own terms and continuing to pursue my dreams of playing music is that I was able to make great friends, and these friends are my bandmates, and I have to say that they really have pushed me to become a better musician and a better person overall. And as I progress through life, more and more priorities come up, and my newest one is being a good uncle to my niece Liliana, and I realize that music is a great thing, but family is also extremely important, and that is why I like to keep that on the side to my. But deep down inside, I like to think that one day I might play music, and that I might realize this lifelong dream I've had of playing music in a rock and roll band, which has gripped me ever since I was a small child. And that is my Pecha Kucha.